apologist, street apologist, street apologist, street apologist, street apologist, street apologist, street apologist. On the radio.
What's up, y'all? How y'all doing? Welcome to Street Apologist Live. My name is Vocab Malone. Don't worry, I'll get it a little brighter. Don't worry. Justice chilling in the back. Today's Monday, May 25th, 2020. Happy Memorial Day. It's about 8:23. Sorry getting started a little bit late, but you know, the homies know what's up. It's all good. Hope you enjoyed your extended weekend. Today, we're going to be talking about a very important topic here today on Street Apologist. You know, I'm your host, Vocab Malone, as I already said. Go ahead and hit that like button. Grab that link and share it. And what else do you need to do? Subscribe to the channel. Do channel memberships. Do Patreon if you can. If not, just glad you're here. Contribute to the live chat, you know? Got a new setup. I'm still working it out. Yes, I am. It's coming along slowly but surely. And we do have a serious topic to talk about today. Violence in Hebrew Israelism. Whenever I do a show like this, they don't like it. But you know, we got to talk about these issues. It's a serious issue. We are going to begin with the freestyle. See, we got Justin Martyr in the house, so why don't we start off with one of his, and then we'll get right into this topic. So with that, let's go! Go. Yeah. Turn it up a little. Produced by Justin Martyr. Peep this out now, used to wear starter. We're back in the day, but now we rock the mic like without an AK. 47, when I die, go to heaven. Rock this mic, stay away from the leaven. Inside the bread, I spit these rhymes from the top of the head until I'm dead. Not blue or red, not about that. But I'm saved like a Rasta Jet. Redemption like Bob Marley. Now I'm not pimping, simping, limping on the track. Here we go. Got a baseball bat to swing it now like out of the park. Yes indeed. Grab the lighter and spark up the beat. Unique, yes, what we like to speak over drum percussion. I'm not from Moscow but Russian. I'm rushing the track like a bum rush. Here I come again, whack MCs just hush. Like Paula Abdul, step to me, man, I take you to school. I'll be your tutor, Vocab Malone. I'm not a pooter, but these rhymes still blow up indeed. Greed, it'll kill ya, this beat. It'll thrill ya, the living bread. It'll fill ya up, got your cup. He'll give ya living water for the sons and daughters. Here I come, he returns like Potter. Kata, yes, indeed, white otter. Swimming in his living water like an otter. Rocker upon the mic. Here we come, what you like a beastie boy, we destroy these coys. I meant we destroy these whack decoys with these toys. They be making the noise. Vocab Malone don't play with toys. Well, that's a lie. Looking kinda fly. Cheat to shout, now I shot my eye. Got the smooth type of style with a vocab versatile over beats happy like Goma Pow. So I'm whistling upon the pile. Oh, as for junk, here's what we do. Go ahead and pump like a Reebok shoe in 89. Vocab alone from the top of the mind. Shine like I was divine. Here we come again, go ahead, rewind. But you can't do that, there's no tape. But it's all good, cause God's still great. I ate a grape earlier. Here I come again, now but hurry, sir. Why? I was kinda late. Excuse me, I missed the date. Hey! And this ain't fake. The beat is dope. Got the beat break, got the break beat. Well, we like to freak when we speak unique. And now we on fleek like a Chicano girl's eyebrows. Ow! Here I come. I'm like an ow. Spinning the head until I'm dead. Vocab alone, know what I said. Oh, I'm moving silence. Today's topic heavy, it's violence and the extremism. Here I come, I gotta spit wisdom. Give them what they want when I'm hitting. Vocab alone, not playing, not fibbing, not ripping, not set, tripping. We rock the mic from the lippin', bottom and top. You know we got 'em, rock 'em from top to bottom. Yeah, like a fly we swat 'em. Here I come again, you could call me Gollum. Cause it's precious. Oops, I didn't change the date. Okay, guys, I'm going to change the date. Just give me a second. My bad. I messed up. You're going to see a little bit of behind-the-scenes stuff. All right, so the way it works is we do freestyles based upon people dropping super chats. Y'all are really good at that. You're really cool on doing that. And I have a backlog that I owe the audience, and so that's why we start off with that freestyle right there. And some of you don't want to hear a freestyle, but Super Chat is still available. It helps this show run. And now it is time to go ahead and get into this. I see it's still a little dark. I'm gonna make it a little brighter. Let me fix a couple things here. Like I said, I got a new setup, so I'm gonna have. It's gonna take a while to get everything right. I'm seeing a couple things that are odd the way this guy's acting. We'll get it eventually. Just give it time. But now is the time to start. We do need to get into this, and so let us begin. Okay, so I like to keep people updated. I want you guys to know what's going on, and I wish I didn't have to talk about like some of the stuff we're gonna have to talk about today, but we've got to nonetheless. You know what I mean? And so it is important. And so what it does is help you see sort of cults in the news, cults in the news. And helps you see what's popping off. Oh, Rox B with the super chat. Shout out to you. Super shout out, Rox B. Thank you for coming through. You're a mod on everyone's channels because everyone knows, loves, and trusts you. So Roxby, you know what you get? You get party noise. That's party noise. And so now let's go ahead and talk about what we're going to talk about. Okay, starting off here with the situation of the Jersey City shooting. Now, the night show is not going to be all about that. I recently had to revisit that issue because some of the Hebrew Israelites were trying to, doubt that there was a reality to that. But now here we're dealing with it again, mainly because what's been happening is I've seen a lot of the Hebrew Israelite accounts recently sharing this thing saying, hey, the FBI is investigating us or whatever. And that's not exactly right. But it's partially right. They're going to take kind of the most sort of paranoid version of it, but there's some truth to it. So I looked into it, and I saw the clip was from CNN or C-SPAN or whatever, C-SPAN 3 or something like that, where a congresswoman from California, Karen Bass, I believe, was interviewing Director Wray of the FBI. So there's the background. Okay, now I'm gonna show you that clip here in a second, and I'm gonna break it down for you. So this is sort of on the fly. Well, I've already watched it, but this is apologetics analysis of news. But first, we need to go to the article so this can kind of be understood for what it is. Because also there's something in this article that I recently saw myself. And so since it's something that I recently saw, obviously I have not shown you guys yet. And so I do want to show you that right now, okay? So let me flip over to share screen mode, okay? That's not what I'm trying to get here.
One of the shooters, David Anderson, was linked to the Black Hebrew Israelite movement.
Hold
It has
on.
many sects, but law enforcement tells us he may have been connected to the Israelite Church of Christ, often described.
Okay, that's not the one I was trying to go to. Sorry about that. Okay, so but I'm on the right one now. Well, actually, that background information was still relevant if you were quick enough to catch it. Okay, so let's make sure we are on the right camera mode here. Let's make sure you can hear me. Okay, I'm looking at everything. Everything seems to be okay. Let's switch over. Okay, we were on the wrong camera, so it kind of looked reddish. I don't want to keep that. They'll accuse me of being a legit Edomite or something like that. We don't want to have that. So here we are at nj.com, all right? nj.com. You see it? And wow, there's only 60 people here? I know I started late, so it's partially my fault, but we need to get some more people in here. Come on in. Join the party, ladies and gentlemen. Jump on in, guys. You guys do need to be in this one for real. Like, let's just jump back up in here, folks. Sorry. So I'm going to change that a little bit here. And then it's a little bit smaller than I wanted, but whatever. All right, put this over here. Okay. Let's take a look at this article together now, okay? NJ.com. Updated January 13th, 2020 news. Jersey City shooters had massive bomb that could have killed 500. They could have killed people 500 yards away. Feds say. There's David Anderson, Hebrew Israelite, and Francine Graham, who he apparently convinced her to also believe in the doctrine as well. Although at the time of the shooting, they were not involved with any camp. Now let's take a look at this. The man and woman who killed 4 people in Jersey City last month in a hate-filled assault on a kosher market had broader plans to sow violence and fear in New Jersey Jewish community and harbored hatred toward police, authorities said Monday. An explosive device that had the capacity to kill or injure people up to 500 yards away was found in the van of the suspects, authorities said. David Anderson, 47, and Francine Graham, 50, prepared for months before carrying out the attack, which included the killing of a Jersey City police detective on December 10th, followed by a rampage at a kosher grocery store that took the lives of 3 civilians, authorities said. Anderson and Graham were killed in a shootout with police at the Jersey City market. Now, here is the part that, here's a very important part why I'm reading this in the first place, okay, right here. You're going to see it. It's some audio that was uncovered from the scene that I don't believe has been discussed. It's very important, okay? So listen to this. This relates to everything we're talking about here today, okay? You ready? Fueled by a radical ideology loosely affiliated with the Black Hebrew Israelites, the pair purchased a cache of weapons and trained to use them in Ohio, authorities said. Before the Jersey City attack, they researched another attack on a Jewish community center in Bayonne, officials said. All right, keep on. State and federal authorities disclosed new details of their ongoing investigation Monday, 1 month after the horrific spree of violence, saying that they are confident Anderson and Graham were motivated by hatred of Jews and law enforcement. U.S. Attorney Craig Carpenito described the Jersey City attacks as profoundly un-American and a senseless, evil, and cowardly act, but said the broader plan was thwarted. We know now that they plan greater acts of mayhem on both communities. Video from inside the kosher supermarket captured Anderson saying, this is the main thing that I wanted to read here today, because I have not read this before, and this is further evidence. I don't know how I missed this back in January, but look at this. This is from the surveillance video. This is exactly like something a Hebrew Israelite would say. Okay, you can't make this up if you don't know, kind of the group. This is something he would say, right? Video from inside the kosher supermarket captured Anderson saying, they stole our heritage. They stole our birthright, and they hired these guys to stop us. These guys are the cops coming after them. You know, the cops, in essence, working for the Jews is the idea behind that, okay? Now, here's some fascinating reasons why I need to discuss this. First of all, it's ironic that Hebrew Israelites are upset by claiming that modern Jews have stolen their birthright and heritage. Why is that so fascinating? Well, modern-day Hebrew Israelites claim that white people are the descendants of Esau, Edomites, right? And Anderson himself believed this, as you could tell by some of his YouTube comments. Let's think about Jacob and Esau for a second here. Jacob used deception with the collusion of his mother to fool his father Isaac in the book of Genesis. You can read this account, Genesis 25 and on, into thinking that Jacob was actually Esau, and he did this to steal his what? And prior to that, after Esau had been hunting game out there, right? Esau was a great hunter, it says. Comes back, he's hungry. Jacob knew this, and he was stirring up some stew there. And Esau said, man, give me some of that stew. It's like, nah, not until you give me your birthright. It's like, man, what's a birthright good? You know, if I'm dead, man, I want some of that red porridge. That stuff's good, man. Ate that up. So he lost his blessing and his birthright, all right? Anyways, my point is, Hebrews like to claim Jacob is their descendant, and Esau is the white folks' descendant. According to this logic, you're going to go back, you know. Edomites should be really upset, you know, and trying to get their stuff back. And apparently it'd be rightfully so, right? If this story was true, which is not, it's all irrelevant. Right? It's not true. But it's just interesting, just understanding that. Nonetheless, Anderson said this as he was involved in the shooting there. Clearly, he was motivated by Hebrew Israelism, right? And they talk more about this, okay? And, you know, it's fascinating and terrifying at the same time. And this is one other thing I want to read here, okay, about this, all right? Hey, authorities said they recovered 5 guns inside the store, including a possibly self-manufactured AR-15 style weapon believed to be used by Anderson and a Mossberg 12-gauge shotgun that Graham was carrying. Investigators also found at least 2 handwritten notes in the Anderson's pockets. There's a typo. You always find these when you read these. One note said, quote, FBI's War on Black America, 3545, referencing the title of a 1990 documentary and a moment in the film in which Fred Hampton, the Black Panther leader, describes law enforcement officers as fascist pig cops. So this is a kind of a fascinating thing. It seems he almost knew he was going to die, and this is what he wanted in his back pocket. I don't know. The other note had the phone number of a Keyport man who was charged with illegally possessing 12 firearms after FBI agents interviewed him a few days after the attack, and that man appeared to be a Muslim. So there's a very fascinating connection there between a possible Muslim man there supplying the weapons for the Hebrew Israelite in this case. In the U-Haul van, authorities found a pipe bomb and a note that read, I do this because my creator makes me do this, and I hate who he hates. That's extremist Hebrew Israelism, ladies and gentlemen. Law enforcement sources told the New York Post and later confirmed by others close to the investigation. Interesting, and tragic. Now, why do I give that as backdrop? It's to this. Are you ready to watch the FBI Director Ray be grilled? Here we go. Okay, everyone, listen to this video very closely. This is fascinating.
So there are no misunderstandings moving forward. Thank you for being here, sir.
Thank you, Director Ray. Thank you for being with us today. And I know you've been here for a very long time. You know, we have spoken many times about Black identity extremists, and I definitely want to ask you about that today. I understand that the Bureau no longer uses BIE and instead categorizes these cases under the broader label of racially motivated violent extremism. But one, I wanted to know if you guys have...
Real quick background information. BIE was a temporary designation that the FBI had given to those they were calling black identity extremists. Hebrew Israelites of some sections, of some sects, were included under that rubric, but others were as well. Since then, the FBI says they have dropped that as an identity designation marker for these kinds of groups. BIE. So you guys following around? So here's Karen Bass. She's a Democrat, California, 37th District, Culver City, West Los Angeles, Crenshaw. So listen to her questions and listen to the answers here from Director Ray. This is very, very fascinating. Okay, so listen. This is theology in action affecting real life, folks. Here we go.
Really repudiated the whole BIE category, because I know when we've talked about it in the past, it really didn't seem to be that there was much evidence that there were black identity extremists. And
so she didn't like it, and it looks like they've changed it partially as a relation to them. Now, I have mixed feelings about it. To say there's no evidence that there's such a thing seems odd based upon certain groups that we know of. However, I can also see how this could become a problem, because then anyone who is, in essence, proud to be black or has issues with cops killing folks or something like that, then you could have them mislabeled as, identity extremists. And that's a major problem. The FBI is not the same exact organization it once was. However, the history is still there for all to see if you're interested, at least what they let us see. And so these are serious considerations, okay? So I'm trying to, we need to have an open mind. We need to think thoughtfully about these things. And she makes some good points. Now, I don't like some things she says here in relationship to abortion, but that's sort of a side point. She sort of shows her cards there. That's sort of a side point, though. But this director, and I'm not trying to, be a hater, on a patriotic holiday or something, but gosh, this guy does not instill much confidence in the viewer. Because he almost acts like he doesn't know what he's talking about, and he either seems incompetent or he seems dishonest by his waffling answers. And I'm not trying to besmirch. I'm just saying, the guy sounds like a politician who doesn't really want to say anything. And it's like, let's have a conversation. I appreciate at least she's being more frank here. She's saying, and she has some valid points. So again, we're looking at this now. This attack I just talked about is going to come up. We have 6.5 minutes or 6 minutes of the clip. You need to pay attention to this clip, okay? And I believe this is back in January. Again, I was on C-SPAN 3, okay? Here we go.
the title was a little longer than that. Something about black identity extremists that threaten police or attack police. So tell me what's different.
So I found our conversations before to be, very constructive and very valuable. And we also engaged not just with you and your colleagues, but also with Noble, with whom we have a great relationship and are working more closely than ever.
Good.
We have, as you mentioned, changed our terminology as part of a broader reorganization of the way in which we categorize our domestic terrorism efforts. So we took a whole bunch of categories, not just the one that you mentioned, but a number of others, and consolidated it down to really 4 buckets. And the reason for that is
what are the 4 buckets?
What's that?
What are the 4 buckets?
Now again, he's sort of rambly, and I like that she's like, okay, just tell us what the 4 buckets are. This is a little bit odd again, this broader reorganization, domestic terrorism. And so what he's saying is now there's 4 categories of domestic terrorists. That's all he's saying. So I like that she's getting down to brass tacks. All he's saying there is these are the 4 categories for domestic terrorism now. But listen to the categories. They're really, okay, what's the name of the category again here? And again, I'm not trying to be, hard on the man, but it's like, is this what we're... I don't know. And again, I think it's back in January. Maybe someone could look that up.
There's racially motivated violent extremism.
Racially motivated violent extremism. Racially motivated. So that's the that's the name of a category. I guess that makes sense. Okay. All right. Keep on going here. I guess that would be what you had to put. You would have to put David Anderson in. That's what you have to put David Anderson. I know, D. New, wrong mug. I'm so sorry. I'll get it together here. I was in a rush.
which is, any kind of violent extremism that's driven with a kind of racial intent of one sort or another, no matter which direction. There is anarchism/government extremism. I may not have the label right, but that...
Brother, how can you not have the label right? What are you here to talk about with her? Like, don't you have some notes or something on your cell phone? And I know this is not really what we're talking about tonight. I don't understand. This is the director of the FBI. I don't really have the label right. Of our new categorization of domestic terror, I don't really know what it is. What? This is sort of a side, step, but it's like, I'm sorry, I'm just kind of feeling this way right now because, I just watched Waco and we talked about the Branch Davidians and what went down with them. And it's just like, I mean, I have the categories right, But anarchism, okay, I guess we'll just call it that, right?
There's kind of variety of everything, sort of certain kinds of militia stuff all the way over to kind of more of the anarchist, maybe sort of Antifa-like kind of methodology.
Now, I do like one thing about him, despite the fact that he's not instilling very much confidence in me as a listener, that, she is thinking all these kind of categories, and he mentions the militias, but he throws Antifa in there. Where they belong, by the way. Antifa always gets left out in these conversations. All the extremism, according to a lot of news outlets, only seems to be one-sided. How often do you hear left-wing extremists? You hear the term right-wing extremists all the time, and I'm not denying such a thing exists if you want to use those categories, but let's be fair here and talk about left-wing extremism, and by the way, they kind of meet once it goes full circle around. It's kind of bizarre. But, Antifa, I mean, how are you going to leave them out? So I do like that he threw them under the bus there, where they belong, okay, in the sense of bringing out what they really are and who they're about. So there we go, okay, there was one point, but he still doesn't redeem himself.
There is abortion violent extremism, people on...
Abortion violent extremism. Now, it's wild that is a total separate category. But listen to what she says here. Listen to this.
Side of that issue who commit violence on behalf of different views on that topic.
People on either side of that issue don't commit violence.
Yes, they do. She doesn't know. She's not informed. Have we not seen the minor things, we'll call them, like the sign stealing? This is all out there. All you got to do is find it. It's on video. Sign stealing, sign defacing. One of these guys got arrested at a college campus, by God's grace. Or the one guy, Jordan, what's his face? The makeup manicure guy, I forgot, wearing the purple, that did the highly telegraphed back kick to a woman's face. Oh, I just meant to hit the phone, that guy. And those aren't the only ones. This is a list. Stuff what goes down. Apologia. Anybody remember the abortionist leaving the facility, brandishing a gun, flashing a gun at the folks on the side? Carrie Terry, I use Ecamm Live. Carrie Terry, I use Ecamm Live. That's what I use, Ecamm. It's only for Macs. So we're going to continue on here, though. I'm just saying, she's like, oh, there's no extreme. Yes, there is. Here we go.
Well, we've actually had a variety of kinds of violence under that, you believe it or not. But
Really,
at the end of the day,
buildings
and then the last one has to do with animal rights and environmental
Those are the four?
extremism. What's that?
Those are the four.
Animal rights and environmental. That's mainly left wing. So this guy might be some kind of a legit, I guess, conservative. But gosh, I still can't let him pass on the slop. I'm just telling you what I think as we go through this. Now I need to stop giving my opinion on all this because we need to really keep on going with this. Here we go.
Those are the four. And the point is, we wanted to underscore what I told you earlier, but we wanted to make it even more clear that at the end of the day, for us, it's not about the ideology, it's about the violence. That's where we weigh in. It's not that the ideology isn't important for us as Americans, but we only investigate violence and the crimes that go with the violence.
But so under the racially motivated...
X letter. Go ahead and time out whoever this person is. I'm sorry, just on a personal petty level, I get so irritated to people who come in and then they're like, oh, this is boring, or you're not, and then they're like, I gotta leave. Okay, time, you know what? If that's how the person is, just, you guys, you know what? I'm in the mood tonight. Block X letter. If that's the kind of contributions you make, just keep it to yourself. Who cares? Okay, just peace. Go ahead and block them, permanently, okay? Just peace. You're gone. We're all good. We're fine on that, okay? Just block them out permanently. Just give them an X for X out.
Racially motivated violent extremism. How many African American or black groups are considered under there?
Well, again, I want to be clear. We don't investigate groups per se. We have properly predicated investigations into individuals, and in some cases they may have co-conspirators, but in each of those instances, it's where we have three things: credible evidence
Right.
of a federal crime, credible evidence, number two, of violence or threat or use of violence, and then number three, on behalf of some ideology.
So
if we have
this-
those things, only if
Right.
we have those things will we open an investigation.
Important. First of all, he's saying, look, people can believe whatever, and it may be troubling to me as an American personally, but the FBI's business is not to get involved until it's like some kind of credible threat relating to violence. That's a fair enough point, and that's legit, and that's how it should be, though. The government should not be getting involved with people just because they have violent rhetoric. I know that sounds whatever, but I'm a libertarian in a lot of ways, and I don't think the government should be just snooping around because they think your rhetoric is violent. Okay? They should not. Okay? And so that's a legit point, and I hope they really do that. I hope they really do what he's saying. The context of this video, somebody was asking, Jesse Walsh, is an FBI oversight hearing. I believe the date is February 5th, 2020. FBI oversight hearing, I do believe that is the context of this, in which FBI Director Christopher Wray testified at an oversight hearing committee before the House Judiciary Committee. And he, I believe that is what this is, okay? I believe that's what this is. Yep, that is what it is. All right, so I'm looking here at the personnel and whatnot, just checking this out, okay? So continuing on. This is important stuff. Got to be a grown-up and an adult to handle it.
So are white supremacist groups under racially motivated violent extremism? Or do white supremacists have a whole separate category?
Well, again, I want to stay away from the use of the word groups. We certainly investigate white supremacist motivated violent extremism in the same category that we're talking about. So, for example, we just last month arrested 8 members, I think, of a group known as the Base. And there were arrests that were made not just in my home state of Georgia, but also in Maryland.
Getting ready to go to Virginia, correct? That was that was the group that was on their way to Virginia?
I think that's right. I can't remember that detail specifically.
So there
but-
are.
I think that's right. Well, you're the one talking about the case. I'm sorry. By the way, it's a great name for a hip-hop group. You know, the bass. But unfortunately, it was the name of a white supremacist group, so that's not very cool.
Organizations, and I understand that, you know, when you say you just investigate individuals, I mean, that you just gave an example of a group. So I know that there are a lot of white supremacist groups. And so my question to you is about black groups. And so I don't know, maybe they're black individuals, but under the category of black identity extremism, formally, there were organizations such as the one in Texas and the individual in Texas that was arrested. He was incarcerated for a while, and then after being incarcerated and going on trial, he was released. He had activity on a website, and he also had literature when he was arrested.
Now, you know, I see what side of the aisle she's on and stuff, but I find her to be eminently more prepared than him. And honestly, her questions make logical sense. So I appreciate that. And you know what? Dear Lord, the government, the federal government needs oversight. They need some oversight, you know? So I'm all for stuff like this, you know? Call Dr. Funny, where have you been? Everybody's been asking about you. Good to have you back. Dr. Funny, my man. In fact, someone specifically was asking me to hit you up, and I kept on forgetting about it, and I'm so sorry, and it's so good to see you again, and please forgive me. And Dr. Funny, you know what, man? You deserve something special. I'm going to give you a round of applause, man. Welcome back. Dr. Funny.
Are you familiar with the case that I'm talking about? We've talked about it before.
I think so, yeah.
So my question is, are there African Americans or black groups or individuals that are currently a part of the racially motivated violent extremism category?
Well, again, I don't know that I would speak in terms of investigating groups. We investigate individuals, and in some instances, individuals with co-conspirators. And I would say certainly there are individuals who we categorize and track under the racially motivated violent extremism part of our program management, who are African Americans targeting others. So, for example,
Okay, so he's going to give an example of what he's talking about. Okay. By the way, I know some of you don't appreciate her questions. I personally do, because the FBI does not have a good track record when it comes to issues of dealing with the black community, frankly. They just don't. The history is there. It's not an imagination thing. I am not a conspiracy theory guy. These are facts, okay? I actually appreciate her questions. She's trying to find out what's what, and that's good. Now, he gives an example, and it is a valid, good example. And we started off the program reading about David Anderson, and he's going to talk about that. So here we go.
Probably saw some of the reporting about the killing of the individuals in Jersey City, including the killing of the people in the kosher supermarket.
I did.
Those individuals were associated themselves with something called the Black Hebrew Israelite.
All right, now watch this. I'm going to go back a little bit, just a little bit here. I don't claim to be some expert on body language, okay? I'm not an FBI agent myself, although the Hebrew Israelites would say that I am, right? He looks up when he says this. He looks up like that, right? My understanding is that's normally when you're trying to recall something and recollect something from your memory. So watch, he does it, all right? So watch, he does that, okay? He's gonna look up, meaning he's familiar with the Black Hebrew Israelites, but he's not that familiar with them. That's what I'm going to take away from this, okay? Take it or leave it, okay? I don't claim to be I'm not omniscient here. I'm just telling you what it seems to me. I'm trying to do some analysis here. So he looks up, and he says something called the Black Hebrew Israelites. Makes you think it's brand new on the radar, for him anyway. And it's some, but this is the best example. Now, this is fascinating. It's not the Nation of Islam that's the best example of this kind of activity. Not even the new Black Panther Party. There's others you can name, not them. Not the Disciples in Chicago or Folk Nation or something like that. None of that. It's some versions of Hebrew Israelism. Tonight's show, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm going to play the rest of this clip. There's a minute left. Is not about all Hebrew Israelites. It's not even dividing one Westers with non-one Westers, campers with non-campers, right? It is focusing on so-called extremist ideology, militant ideology within Hebrew Israelism. That exists, and we're going to give an example. Boom. Then we're going to look at another example, and there's an update I got on that, and you'll see when we come to that. And then I'm going to give another example. Each one's a little bit different, but they're all examples of this. Now watch this again.
Those individuals were associated themselves with something called the Black Hebrew Israelite.
Oh, I'm very familiar with them. So let's use
that would be in that category.
So let's use.
Well, I'm very familiar with him. I think she probably knows more about the Hebrew Israelites than he does. He had to get it right. Notice that? That's kind of what you do when you're making. I do that. You know, sometimes you're like, not with Hebrew Israelism, but, certain things. Like movement, you're trying to parse it out, you know what I'm saying? Fascinating, right?
As an example, because I'm very familiar with that group. That group is in several what'd you say? Yeah, well, excuse me, but I'm taking the prerogative of the chair.
Somebody's upset with her line of questioning, it appears here.
Group as an example, is that a group, because they are open, you see them on street corners in different groups. They're not a secret group at all. Is that group part of the racially motivated extremism? The group.
No, I understand where she's trying to go with that. And I appreciate someone needs to defend the rights of Hebrew Israelites. Seriously, they as American citizens, right? However, her point is not logically valid. It's not historically or I don't think legally valid either, really. Well, here's what I mean. Just because a group is public in some way, you know, being on street corners, that doesn't mean they could not commit acts in this new category of racially motivated violence or whatever they were calling it, right? What did they call it again? Someone type it in the live chat. So I don't see the connection. What level of public they are or aren't. What exactly does have to, I mean, the KKK was public. Then you might say, well, their identity was hidden. And well, not all of them. And people, you know, knew. I just don't exactly understand what she's saying. You know what I'm saying? Exactly there. But I appreciate her going to bat where this needs to go to bat. But watch what he says here.
I understand the act that took place. I understand the individuals, and it's not clear their level of association.
And again, you know, we need to go through this as full as we can. And it's true, they were not involved in a camp at the time, but clearly their ideology was Hebrew Israelism. And what I'm going to say is most of the dangerous things that are going to happen from Hebrew Israelites are going to be by the outliers who are not officially with a group. However, that's my first prediction. I'm going to make another prediction. I've been talking about this for a while. You're going to see eventually the rise of a Hebrew Israelite sect or actual group that is officially in some way more violent, even with what they teach and preach. It hasn't happened yet, but I bet you're going to see it. Well, actually, it has happened with the Nation of Yahweh. If you know about that in Florida, there was an example. You could say, well, that was an outlier, but that was a big group, okay? So just bringing it up here. Here we go.
What I would say to you on that is that we have some investigations into individuals who associate themselves with that movement.
Beyond those two people?
Yes.
Okay. And Director Ray, documents
Did you just hear that? That's the end of the clip. Then that's where all the money is. He is saying, look at me. He is saying, Christopher Wray, the director of the FBI, is saying right now, as of February 2020, speaking to a congresswoman, cameras rolling for everybody, right now, we have some ongoing investigations as the FBI into some people who are affiliated with the Hebrew Israelites. I don't know who. I don't know what they're looking at. It's not a secret, though. He's saying it. It's not some secret. Now, the Hebrew Israelites are going to take this like, we're all under investigation. What? Get your tinfoil hat and, whoa, I bet you in our camp, you're actually an FBI agent because you know, Vocab alone clearly is one because, you know, the sky is falling, chicken little. That's what they're going to say, right? But I take things for what they are and what we can know. What is he telling us for sure? He is saying right now, FBI has some ongoing active investigations into Hebrew Israelites, some of them. How many? Who? I don't know. But that's a big deal. I'm going to play this one more time, okay? And then we're going to go to something else, okay?
of association.
What I would say to you on that is that we have some investigations into individuals who associate themselves with that movement.
Beyond those two people?
Yes.
Okay. And Director Ray, documents published in...
Saying it ain't just David Anderson, Francine Cram. You guys catch that? Wow. What else is going on here, ladies and gentlemen? What else do we need to talk about tonight? We need to talk about Austin Smith. So again, we're talking about violence within extremist versions of Hebrew Israelism. I just showed you that. Very, very important. Okay? Jesse Wall says, oh, I'm sure, wasn't IUIC involved in something a couple years ago, or ISUPK? No. I've never heard of IUIC being involved in anything, or ISUPK. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. All right. Now, Judah the Lion doesn't strike fear in Judah the Lion at all. People are always weird when they talk about themselves in the third person. The God of Israel holds my spirit. Not no FBI. Double negative. Won't let that slip. Judah the Lion, actually, honestly, my friend, you would make a fantastic FBI agent. You know why? Because you are very, very, very good. Totally skilled at being Two-Face. When you're with us, you're laughing and putting emojis and laughing and stuff like that. Vocab, you're cool. And then when you go over with your One West buddies or your GOCC buddies, sorry, my bad. Whenever you go over with them, you're all, Vocab's a snake. Total chameleon. Vocab's the devil. And I see you, bro. We see you talking. We see you talking, bro. If anyone would make a good FBI agent, it'd be you, because you're like Donnie Brasco up in here, bro. Donnie Brasco 2.0 GOCC version, you know? That's you, Judah the Lion. Maybe one day you'll come and be authentic with us and take off the mask, you know what I'm saying? Like after the COVID-19 scare is over, people can take off their mask. Maybe you can take off your mask when this time is over. You know what I'm saying? And then when you do, we'll clap. Now we're on to Austin Smith. If you remember here in Phoenix, I discussed a camp that I had dealings with, and they were at 19th Avenue Camelback, and I dealt with them frequently, and one of the dudes ended up killing his daughters. Gosh, this sucks. Killing two of his daughters, killing his girlfriend, I found out later, not really technically his wife, killing one of his fellow camp members, and injuring the leader of the camp. Let's go ahead and time out Judah the Lion. Judah the Lion, leave me alone, bro. Yeah, how about you just leave us all alone for a second here? We're going to go ahead and time out you. You know, we're just going to go ahead and time you out here for being a chameleon. Chameleons aren't my favorite. So Judah the Lion, we're going to rename you now Judah the Chameleon. So Judah the Chameleon Lion, let's go ahead and time you out there. Yo, what is up with these comments, bro? Who is this? Man, y'all are not right, man. Oh, Jesse Walsh, shout out to you, brother, but you all kinds of confused. It was not ISUPK, it was ICGJC, and we talked about it in detail. It was ICGJC, my friend. It was not ISUPK. Yeah, it was ICGJC, but it's all good. You know what? We need to transition into a freestyle before we get into this Austin Smith thing. Okay, here we go. Oh, 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 oh. Freestyle mode. 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 Oh. It's time to explode. Unlock freestyle mode. Got so much sweet like a la mode. Apple pie flush like the commode. Oh, I owed a freestyle, I won't implode. I unload, then I unlock, and I got that doctrine for the black. So I hip hop and then I rock like Striper. I'm back on the block like Quincy Jones. Well, I'm vocab, I spit the poems. Oh, like sunflower seeds. Here I go, know what you need. I'm upon my knees so I can pray. Vocab alone, no Y2K. Don't really like the video games. Come on, y'all know the name. Jump up and down like House of Pain. Busting out the picture, busting out the frame. I'm not D-range. Here I go again, don't look at me strange. I got the banger, no anger. Jesus the Christ was born in the manger. Yes indeed, 1, 2, 3, freestyle I see, oh, with my eye, play that clip with the FBI, I hope we don't lie, we got the bass, the group so-called bass all in a place. Direct to bass or maybe bass. I rap this mic until my voice raspy. Ask me and now I'm classy. I'm kinda miffed. I got the backbeat of Rocks B plus Sister Sleepy and Little C and Dr. Funny, Mr. Phil Fox G. Yes indeed, D. Carl B. Here we go, we rockin' again. Here we go, I'm saved from sin. Born again like John chapter 3. Here we go again with the MIC. Jump on it now, what we be? A Pawn Street apologist, hee. Like Michael Jackson. Here we go with the fat son. Grab the mic and I'm rapping. Got my gums, they're flapping. Your two hands, they're clapping. Here I go with the back spin. What's happening? Action Jackson on the floor. 1 to the 2 to the 3 to the 4. Oh!
And our top story tonight here on the news at 8. Austin Smith learned he's going to be spending the rest of his life behind bars. He murdered his wife, 2 daughters, and another man last year.
And this is a heinous crime, all because he thought his wife was having an affair. Joey Carrera is here now with how family members reacted to Smith's sentence today.
Yeah, the details are just completely awful. Smith told police he thought his wife was cheating on him, which was what prompted him to go on that awful killing spree.
This by far has to be the most hurting and painful feeling in my life.
Emotional words from the mother of 29-year-old Deja, who was Smith's wife. Police found her dead, along with the couple's 7- and 5-year-old daughters. Police documents say Smith spared his and Deja's third daughter because she reminded him of himself.
They did not get a chance to live life. They were especially too young to die at the hands of a man that was supposed to love and protect them.
Smith then went to an apartment complex near 67th Avenue and Indian School, where he shot and killed Ronald Freeman, who he believed was having an affair with his wife. Ronald's mom spoke in court today, at one point looking at Smith in the face. She called her son Ronald her hero.
I can't sleep, haunted by the last hours of this hero of mine. The last hours, the last minutes. Somebody that you prayed with because you felt like somebody was trying to tell your wife to leave you. It's okay to beat a woman. It's just too much. It's too much. It's something that we'll never get over.
The defense also read a letter from Smith's relative saying she believes changing religion caused him to have issues.
I believe that the conflict between how he was raised and this religion caused mental illness.
The judge sentenced Smith to 4 natural life sentences as a part.
Now, I'm going to play this again, but I'm going to go back to that specific spot. A couple things for you to notice here. And again, today's topic is violent extremism within certain sections of Hebrew Israelism. We talked about David Anderson, talking about Austin Smith. The reason why I'm doing the show is because I found new information about these cases. This is relatively new. Why is it popping up now? Because Austin Smith took a plea deal, and this is the sentencing phase. So this is recent news, okay? Now, hear what she said? She said, a woman that you prayed with. That's Hebrew Israelism. That's his religion right there. All because you thought somebody was trying to tell her to leave you. It's not okay to beat a woman. Now, I have heard from other Hebrew Israelites that Austin Smith beat this woman he was in a relationship with. I mean, would that be a surprise considering he eventually murdered her? This is tragic, right? Now, yes, Hayden, that was said. Did you guys catch that? The letter being read from the family said switching his religion caused him to go insane. Notice this, ladies and gentlemen. In the family's mind, what changed Austin Smith and made him go crazy was his adoption of Hebrew Israelism. Now, it's true GMS kicked out Austin Smith and his fellow camp members. That's true. However, he was still a Hebrew Israelite. I met him on camp. I have video with him, as well as the man he murdered, Ronnie Freeman. We're going to play this again. I want you to pay closer attention. Okay, I'm going to go down here. This is local Phoenix news, by the way. We need to hear this again. Listen carefully. It's only 2 minutes and 20 seconds. This just happened. Someone look up the date when he was sentenced. If you put in Austin Smith sentencing, you'll be able to find it. But let's check this out again.
And our top story tonight here on the news at 8. Austin Smith learned he's going to be spending the rest of his life behind bars. He murdered his wife, 2 daughters, and another man last year.
This is a heinous crime, all because he thought his wife was having an affair. Joey Carrera is here now with how family members reacted to Smith's sentence today.
And that's why when the cops got him, the news reported it as God told me to do it. But the actual investigator got his words more correct, which appeared to be God said this was okay. Because under his reading of keeping Old Testament law, if someone was committing adultery, they can be murdered as Israelite rule or law. Now, I want you to look closely. When they're bringing in Austin Smith here, they're bringing him to downtown Phoenix here. When you look closely, if you look closely on the side of his head, it's going to be difficult to see because this is not as high res as prior. He has the Star of David actually ingrained, kind of cut into his head, you know what I mean, just his haircut. And so you have evidence just from him, you know, that he's a Hebrew Israelite. Sweet T says November 20th, 2019. Yes, sir. I know that that's when the murders happened, Sweet T. What I'm talking about is the sentencing. What is the date the sentencing happened? Because that just happened. Could you look that up, Sweet T, as well? The murders happened November 2019. But when did the sentencing phase happen? Because this is very recent, okay? I want to watch close.
Details are just completely awful. Smith told police he thought his wife was cheating.
See that? Side of his head?
Was
See that? That's a good angle. Star of David. He's a Hebrew Israelite. Now, not all Hebrew Israelites are down with the Star of David, just so you know. But his camp was, okay? They were, okay?
What prompted
See that?
him to go on that awful killing spree.
This sacrifice has to be the most hurting and painful feeling in my life.
Emotional words from the mother of 29-year-old Deja, who was Smith's wife. Police found her dead, along with the couple's 7- and 5-year-old daughters. Police documents say Smith spared his and Deja's third daughter because she reminded him of himself.
They did not get a chance to live life. They were especially too young to die at the hands of a man that was supposed to love and protect them.
Smith then went to an apartment complex near 67th Avenue and Indian School, where he shot and killed Ronald Freeman, who he believed was having an affair with his wife.
Now, we sent money, some of the folks on the channel, to Ron Freeman's family for his memorial fund. I also talked to him. He was he served in the military and was a big, strong, powerful man. He was quiet. He was kind of more cool and more chill than the other guys. But he was murdered. You know, he turned his back to walk back, and he had no idea. And Austin Smith shot him in the back and murdered him. Sweet T, he was not sentenced November 20th. He was not sentenced November 20th. There's no way that that can't be right. I'll have to look into it to see what's going on, but I don't think that's right exactly. But we'll see what it is there as far as the sentencing. I'll take a look at it. But thank you.
Ronald's mom spoke in court today, at one point looking at...
So this is Ronnie Freeman's mother, okay? Ronnie Freeman's mother. Thank you, D-New. February 25th, 2020. Yeah, I knew this was somewhat recent. That's when this sentencing actually went down. There we go. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. You guys are great. So this is Ronnie Freeman's mother. He was also a black Hebrew Israelite in the same camp, Yahushai's servants. And that's exactly the group that I mainly dealt with when I went out on 19th Avenue and Camelback. Okay, this is one of the primary groups, and they definitely got pretty wild with me. Now, not Ronnie. And now the mother is speaking about Ronnie, okay? This is very tragic. Listen to this. This is newer. We've never played this on the show before.
Smith in the face. She called her son Ronald her hero.
I can't sleep. Haunted by the last hours of this hero of mine. The last hours, the last minutes. Somebody that you prayed with.
Somebody that you prayed with. I think before I may have mistook it that was talking about Deja, his girlfriend / wife. This is Ronnie Freeman's mother. So she's saying, Ronnie Freeman, you murdered him, this hero of mine, someone that you prayed with. They were Hebrew Israelites together.
Because you felt like somebody was trying to tell your wife to leave you? It's okay to beat a woman? It's just too much. It's too much. It's something that we'll never get over.
The defense also read a letter from Smith's relatives saying
This is a letter from Smith's relatives. Now, it appears, because this is the defense reading this, it appears that the defense is essentially kind of blaming Smith's religion as part of the defense. It appears that's what the defense might be doing here. Otherwise, why would the defense read a letter from the family that says, I think switching his religion, so he was raised with, that means he was raised as a Christian, we know that, I've talked to him, or a Roman Catholic, I'm not sure in his case, but you understand within that, and became a Hebrew Israelite. Whoever in the family thought this was what made him lose his mind. Check this out.
Believes changing religion caused him to have issues.
I believe that the conflict between how he was raised and this religion caused mental illness.
The judge.
I believe that the conflict between how he was raised and his religion caused him mental illness. Jesse Walsh, this was a breakaway from GMS. GMS kicked him out. The name of this camp, Jesse, was Yahushai's Servants. Yahushai's Servants. Sometimes they would say Yahushai's Servants in Phoenix. Sometimes they would say Yahushai's Servants in Israel. There we go. Right. Hey, GMS Vegas Sit Down. I've seen your stuff before. I know you would never come on and actually talk to me, but you're here, and I don't block people for just being Hebrew Israelites or anything like that. So here you are. Let me just speak with you for a second. I'm putting your comment on the screen. This is the family that thinks this. Do you understand? The family of Austin Smith thinks that his conversion into Hebrew Israelism is what helped him do what he did. I'm not reading this letter. I'm not making this up. This is the family that wrote this letter and the defense is reading. Do you understand that? Now that's what today's show is about. How Hebrew Israelism helps convince people who were already on the edge to go a little bit further. And you know, you're calling it an isolated event, but it was only a year later. It was a little bit later, I'm sorry, rather. Not a year, but a little bit later, that David Anderson, which we started off with the show, did. So it's not exactly isolated. Hebrew Israelite motivated killings. You know? Now, the next person we're going to play definitely was mentally unstable. I met with Austin. I think it was more of an anger thing, where his Hebrew Israelism gave rise and a kind of excuse to his extreme anger that he had. And I saw it firsthand, the way he dealt with me. Yes, Jesse, again, he's not part of GMS. They kicked him out. GMS kicked him out because these guys took guns to camp, and GMS as a policy is do not take weapons to camp, and these guys didn't listen. IACPK takes weapons to camp. GMS's policy was no weapons to camp, okay? So I hear you, GMS Vegas Sit Down. I actually understand why you would feel how you feel. I get it, okay? But we are saying there's extremist aspects of Hebrew Israelism. Now, you're saying, how so? How do we put the individual over the edge? Now, I'm not saying GMS did it, just so you know. Again, GMS Vegas Sit-Downs, I've said again and again, Austin Smith had been kicked out by GMS at this point, so this is not a GMS thing, okay? Now, he was affiliated with GMS. Now, that's kind of the point here. What happens is, when you have people who are super angry and upset and maybe a little mentally unstable, Hebrew Israelism pours gasoline on the internal inferno, the burning fire, rage inside of people that they have for whatever reason, whether it's just or unjust. Hebrew Israelism pours gas on it. That's what your rhetoric does and your ideology. And that's why you guys say, we're going to have slaves. We're going to do with you what we will. If you don't do it, we're going to kill you. They've told me, Vocab alone, we're going to play with your bones and pass them around. I had a guy from GMS Chicago look at me dead in the eye and say, I wish I could stab you in the throat right now. That's what I want to do. And I said, that's murder. He said, it wouldn't be murder, it'd be killing. And it'd be just. There's a guy who always wears the pink smock that he took off from his mother's curtains. That guy. I could point him out to you in the video. Who wants to stab me in the throat. Nobody in the camp went against that. Your religion encourages violence. Now, granted, you say not yet. You say we're going to do it later on. But still, hey, K-Dub's in the house. My man K-Dub, actually, you have a video on some of what we're talking about tonight, the violent rhetoric and whatnot. Can you put that video, I think it's called like Troubling Statements by Hebrew Israelites or something. Put your video, my man, if you can, if you have time, please. Your video that's exactly about what we're talking about, if you could, all right? So, GMS Vegas sit-downs, we're not blaming GMS, but we are blaming the rhetoric of GMS. And now this next case I'm going to play, you're going to see a man who just saw Hebrew Israelite ideas on the internet and decided to act them out in real time. It appears the man had some aspect of autism. But the thing is, your guys' rhetoric does not help. Christianity takes gangsters and gives them the gospel. And yes, I am wearing this shirt 2 days in a row because I'm giving a shout out to Mr. Solo who just died. This is to honor him, and I usually don't do that, but I'm wearing this 2 days in a row. I'm doing that on purpose, right? Mr. Solo's right here in the middle, right? The brother was a stone cold gangster from South Central. He became a born-again believer, and then he spent his time trying to preach redemption to others over hip-hop beats. That's what Christianity rightfully practiced does to people because of the cross of Christ. Amen, in Jesus' name. That's right. Let me have church up in here, bro. Hebrew Israelism takes people that are upset and angry and all that and mentally unstable. It doesn't help them, hurts them, makes them worse. Says, don't worry, you're going to get your chance, bro. Well, you know what, GMS Vegas sit down? Some people get tired of waiting, and that's why I'm going to tell you right now to your face, this is going to happen again, and as your religion grows, it's going to happen more. You can blame it on the FBI, whoever you want, but it's going to be as a result of your ideology fueling people specifically. All right? That's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. Hasmonean Dynasty. How do you know? What are you talking about? How do you know Austin Smith was a nutcase? Who are you? Can't blame the Hebrew Israelites. I dealt with him and I saw exactly how he was. I can blame his camp because I saw how his camp was. They encouraged this. This Yahushai servants is one of the worst camps as far as the rhetoric that I've seen. Now, I've seen worse, but they're one of the worst. I've seen them. I dealt with them. What are you talking about? What do you know? Who are you? Where do you live? In the sense of, are you in Phoenix? Do you know what's going on? How do you know Austin Smith was a nutcase? Notice his family seemed to say he was cool before. The conflict of how he was raised and his religion, meaning changing over to your side, is what encourages the... Yeah, look at GMS Vegas. You can't ever, deal with the facts. Christianity is the bloodest religion there is. Yeah. What does that even mean? Y'all could play this game, but it is what it is. There, thank you, K-Dubs, bringing out that video. Now let's play the rest of this real quick here. 20 seconds left.
Smith to 4 natural life sentences as a part of a plea agreement.
Absolutely nothing today that can possibly change the manner in which you are all suffering.
And Smith also shot other people who were in the apartment where Ronald was killed. The judge tacked on more than 30 years for additional charges. Heather.
Joey, thank you very much.
Hasmonean Dynasty says, I know nutcases in the world. I grew up around nutcases in Chicago neighborhood, Inglewood. Now, listen, Hasmonean Dynasty, I've been there. I don't know if you've seen the video, but I was actually at a spot in Inglewood, specifically, south side of Chicago, so I know what you're talking about. I was there 2 summers ago. And listen, knowing nutcases doesn't qualify you to be an expert on nutcases. I don't really understand what you didn't know Austin Smith. I knew him better than you. He's the one who told me you better get out of here with that KJ, with that Bible version, or we're gonna have a problem. He said it in a different way, but it was a worse way and was loud. So I don't know what you're saying there. Yep, Kelly Klein, good point, and thank you. Exactly right. Exactly right. Uriah ben Yehuda. Hey, Uriah, you know why I like you? You know why I like you, Uriah ben Yehuda? Because you're named after a Hittite. Did you know that, Uriah? You named yourself after a non-Israelite. That's fantastic. Now, you're saying your name is son of Judah, but it should be Ben Hittite. Uriah. You named yourself after a man in the Bible in the Old Testament who was a Hittite. Maybe you had a different Uriah in mind there. But I like that. What I see is you named Uriah. Uriah ben Hittite. Why'd you want to name yourself after a Hittite, man? I thought you didn't like Hittites. You know Hittites aren't Israelites. You know that, right? Naming yourself after a Hittite. That's cool, man. You must be an open-minded guy. Naming yourself after a Hittite. Next thing you're going to come up here is Doeg. Doeg ben Edomite. You're gonna have a guy named here named Doeg after Doeg the Edomite, you know? Yeah, Hasmonia, my point by that, in response to your comment on the screen, is that you don't know what you're talking about. You're not from Phoenix. You never knew Austin Smith. You don't know his camp. But I do like this Uriah guy. You know, this Uriah guy named him after security is my profession. It's my job to observe and discern. You never observed Austin Smith. What are you talking about? What's that? Oh, man. Who's hiring you as a security guard, bruh? I hope they're not giving you access to weapons. Dear Lord, I hope not. All right. Okay, we're switching over to the last one. This is the most troubling. I cannot play the video of the actual incident here, even though I have it. So I am going to play the Detroit News clip, and this guy was influenced by extreme Hebrew Israelism, okay? Here we go.
Well, a violent assault on a senior citizen caught on camera inside a nursing home.
We want to warn you, the video is very disturbing. 7 Action News reporter Kimberly Craig found out one of the reasons why police acted so quickly.
Police say the suspect is 20 years old and it's unclear why he was being treated at the nursing center. And again, this video is hard to watch. We have blurred much of the video because it is so hard to watch, and it appears the person who set up the phone to take the video is the 20-year-old suspect himself. Now the video of the brutal assault on a 75-year-old man will no doubt be heartbreaking evidence. Thankfully, with information from the person who shared the video, Detroit police were able to quickly determine where it allegedly happened. Here at the Westwood Nursing Center on Schaefer near Grove Street on Detroit's west side. The person attacking the 75-year-old man certainly appears to be a fraction of his age, and the young man can be overheard telling his victim something about staying out of his bed. The suspect's uncontrolled anger had Detroit police zeroing in on him quickly, and here at the Westwood Nursing Center is where investigators found him today.
The nursing home was unaware of an assault until they saw the video. We're still investigating that aspect of the case, but there is a suspect in custody.
And it appears the suspect also posted another video showing an assault on a woman confined to a bed. Detroit police say they are also investigating that assault. Kimberly Craig, 7 Action News.
We just received a statement from an attorney representing the Westwood Nursing Home. They called the video shocking and said the staff is cooperating with police. The attorney adds that the attacker was recently admitted for recovery and rehabilitation.
I have seen both of the videos unedited. I don't think I am going to play them. I don't think this video would be able to stay up if I play them in their final form here. What is actually on his was on social media. But I've seen both of them. He beats the man very hard, and you can hear the sounds come through on the phone. It's very disturbing because it's so loud, you know, the way it sounds, you know. This is brand new. This is just happened recently, so if you haven't heard about it, it's because it's new, okay? Now, I want to switch over and share my screen with you. Okay. And we're going to take a look here at what's going on. Okay. I'm going to make myself a little smaller here. This is very troubling, even without the video that I have seen that I am not going to play. Now, let's read a little bit about this here. Let me put this down here. Okay, there we go. Man accused of beating 75-year-old in Detroit nursing home pleads not guilty to assault and other charges. Now, listen, the guy filmed himself doing this. He's the one who set up the camera and put it on his YouTube like it was cool. Thinks he's a boxer, apparently. He's got a bunch of boxing messages there, you know. Now, listen, I know this is hard to watch, but everyone, watch what you say. If you say certain things, I am going to, like Carlton Franklin, you're going to get timed out. I understand that you feel like that, but you're going to get timed out, okay? Okay? We gotta be careful with what we say. I respect you, but everyone be careful what you say, okay? This is a sensitive case, sensitive issue, but you guys still need to be careful what you write, okay? Please. Okay? Uriah. Uriah been Hittite. And 75-year-old man. The dude who did it was only 20 years old. Yep. Let's go down here a little bit. I understand. And again, I understand all of you guys, but you got to be careful, okay, with what we're saying here. Because, all right, here we go. Let's look at this. I'm going to read this now. Jaden T. Hayden, 20, was charged Sunday, May 24, 2020, with beating his 75-year-old roommate in an assault recorded on his cell phone and posted on social media, authorities said. The 20-year-old man accused of beating a 75-year-old man in a Detroit nursing home pleaded not guilty to assault Sunday, said Maria Miller, Wayne County Assistant Prosecuting Attorney. Jaden T. Hayden of Ysplanty was charged with 2 counts of assault with intent to do great bodily harm, larceny in a building, and 2 counts of stealing and retaining a financial transaction without consent, according to a news release from the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office. Hayden's arrest and charges come after a video surfaced of him tackling the elderly man identified as Norman Bledsoe. By the way, he was a veteran. A Westwood Nursing Center in Detroit. The police said both were residents of the nursing home, though Hayden is not a long-term resident of Westwood, but he was recently admitted for recovery and rehabilitation purposes on a temporary stay, according to a statement from the nursing home's attorney. The man who allegedly beat a nursing home resident in Detroit, Michigan, has been identified as Jaden T. Hayden of Ysplanty in a press release from Wayne County Prosecutor Kim Worthy. Video of the incident shows Bledsoe being repeatedly punched and covered in blood. The video suspect can be heard saying, "Get the F off my bed," several times in the video after beating the victim. Nursing home staff heard the incident and insisted Bledsoe was taken to the local hospital for treatment after Hayden told staff Bledsoe had fallen out of his bed, the release said. Hayden set up a cell phone in the room, the release said, and he posted videos of the attack on social media. He was also accused of stealing credit cards from the victim, according to the release. The alleged actions of this defendant are truly and uniquely disturbing, Wayne County Prosecutor Kim Worthy said in a statement. We must be able to trust our loved ones in specialty care facilities. I truly hope that the facts of this case are one of a kind. The incident took place May 10th, Worthy's statement read, but Hayden wasn't arrested until Thursday as a result of an investigation and information provided to Detroit police. Hayden appeared in court Sunday where he was given a $300,000 cash bond. The Detroit police department told CNN in an email CNN does not be able to determine if Hayden has legal representation. And he has a probable cause hearing scheduled for June 4th, the preliminary exam on June 11th in the 36th District Court in Detroit, Miller said in an email. Okay, so there we go. Now, notice, I watched both videos. The one of him with the old woman who's like stuck to the bed is actually in some ways more troubling. You know, like, because, you know, it's a woman and she's stuck to the bed. But they're both of these. Of course, they're both white folks. Now, the reason that's relevant because it appears he was infected with the ideology of Hebrew Israelism. And the man already was troubled. There's no doubt about that. What Hebrew Israelism's ideology does is it gives you justification for acts like this. Mike Jones, what are you doing in here? And he looked up ancient Israelite coins. They have white-looking people on them. It appears we have some Anglo-Israelites coming over. But could you stay on topic? NTO says, a YouTuber named Mr. Obvious says he has videos of Hayden supposedly purposely ODing people with their meds. I'm going to say no on that because he didn't work for the facility. So he wouldn't have access to it. He doesn't, you know what I'm saying? I don't think so. And besides, I looked at the videos. There was no other videos I saw taken down like that. I don't think that's right. And if he has videos, why not show them? Okay, you know what I'm saying? I don't think so. All right, yeah, great point, Justin Martyr. My man Justin Martyr subscribed to his channel. Why have none of the Israelites on this chat condemned these actions? All they have done was call them crazy and make excuses. Yes, 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 exactly. People are catching on to you guys' ruse. We're tired of it. Condemn the actions, you know, instead of this, you know? Come on now. All right. They're going to say he wasn't a Hebrew Israelite. Yes, he was not in a camp. He wasn't properly a Hebrew Israelite in a technical sense. However, that's why it's called Hebrew Israelism. He was infected by the ideology of Hebrew Israelism. You want proof? Listen to what he says in this video that has since been deleted off of his YouTube account.
I want to talk about the number one reason blacks became slaves. A lot of y'all seen the movies of slavery and never revealed to y'all why black ancestors became slaves. Here's what they never revealed to you why they became slaves. This stuff is all in the Bible. Number one reason our black ancestors became slaves was they rejected God. They didn't want to have nothing. They didn't want to follow God. And God does not look at every race the same. Why did the black race get punished like that? Because the black race is the chosen race. Black race was supposed to rule the earth. But now blacks gotta work at colleges and do all this other stuff that's blacks work at colleges and they don't own nothing. They have to go to the white man for everything. And that's not good.
You're going to tell me that's not exactly the rhetoric of your average Hebrew Israelite? Why, it certainly is. Where did he get this stuff from? He's been watching Hebrew Israelite videos. I'm going to tell you the reason we went into slavery. We're chosen. We broke the law. God doesn't look all races the same. We're supposed to rule the earth, but instead we're... You hear this? Now, you're going to say he's a little slow. It appears he was on the spectrum. However, I have seen a bunch of Hebrew Israelites in camps just like this guy. Continuing on.
Look at boxers like Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson, and all of them. They were black. All the best boxers were black.
How many memes have you seen? Well, maybe you haven't seen a lot because you're not running around the internet where I am. I've seen a bunch of memes where Hebrew Israelites put the best athletes or people of excellence in any way, all right, on a meme, and they'll say Israelite excellence or something like that. Because we're chosen by God. They'll talk about, the Hebrew Israelites. He's saying the exact same thing. He's saying it's because they're chosen by God. Are you guys hearing this?
But I want to talk about something else. It's in the Bible, too. It's in the Bible.
It's in the Bible, too. This dude obviously has embraced Hebrew Israelism.
Talk about because the black race is it's in the Bible. Let me go get some scriptures real quick.
This could be a camp video. I can't tell you how many videos I've seen of campers exactly like that. Some guy with bad lighting, it's in the Bible. I'm gonna get this. He's repeating what he's heard. Hebrew Israelism produces bad results, folks. Plain and simple.
28 verse 48. You shall serve your enemies, whom the Lord shall send against you in hunger and thirst and nakedness and need, everything. He will put a yoke on your iron until he has destroyed you, and you shall get his sons and daughters shall not be yours. They shall go into captivity. Blacks was supposed to rule the earth, but
he just quoted from Deuteronomy 28. Someone's going to say he's not affected by Hebrew Israelism. Obviously he is. If you want to watch the video of him beating up the old man and old woman, it's on Twitter. You can find it if you want to look for it. You know his name, you can find it. It's very disturbing. It will upset you. Not based upon skin color, based upon someone senselessly beating an old man for no reason, 55 years his senior.
Our black people stay. This is why black people will stay killing each other. Black women will hate each other because they're weave, and black people stay killing each other over Jordan tennis shoes. Because at the end of the day, you got to think of it like this: black people will stay killing each other, and so on.
That's the video. Sam Miguel's an ex-Hebrew Israelite. He knows what's up. Typical Israelite rhetoric. Deuteronomy 28:48. Brother George is in the live chat. He's also an ex-Hebrew Israelite. Let me get some scriptures real quick. He definitely... Elder Mattil here. Brother George. Now, Hebrew Israelites in the live chat, we know you're here. All of a sudden, you're really silent. Do you condemn this man's actions? Can anyone outright say what he did was wrong? Can we get one Hebrew Israelite to just say clearly what he did was wrong? Look at the Hebrew Israelites in the live chat. Hasmonean dynasty. I'm glad you're here because I don't think you understand. Look how fair I am. I put your comments up here, bro. I put them up here. Do you understand how bad this makes you look? You can't condemn the man. This has nothing to do with attacking old people in a nursing home. He's there talking about the best boxers, Israelites, were supposed to rule the earth. He only did this to 2 Edomites. All I'm saying is your doctrine makes the unstable more unstable. It makes the angry more angry. It makes the sick more sick. It makes those filled with rage have more rage. It makes the disrespectful more disrespectful. It makes the racist more racist. It makes the bigot more of a bigot. It makes the prejudiced more prejudice. It makes the wild more wild. It makes the crazy more crazy. It makes those on edge fall off the cliff. Yeah, no one's going to condemn it. Let's go to the next video and listen to what he's going to say about coronavirus. And he's going to give more evidence that he was infected with the disease of Hebrew Israelism. If you know much about Hebrew Israelism, you'll be able to discern what he's saying there. If not, I'll break it down for you. Let's listen to this video. They're both very short. This is the man who beat a 75-year-old man and also a woman in a nursing home who was confined to a chair. Okay.
This is part 2. I'm going to talk about the spirit of death.
Spirit of death. This is the kind of stuff Hebrew Israelites say. This video is only 2 minutes and 20 seconds long. But if you've watched Hebrew Israelite videos, you've seen this stuff before. So let's listen to Jaden speak about the spirit of death, which Hebrew Israelite ideology, by the way, clearly embraces. The extremist versions are clearly embrace the so-called spirit of death. Here we go.
It's run the coronavirus, the people getting killed.
Hasmonean dynasty. Again, you can't condemn what he's saying. How do you know the old man isn't an Israelite? What? The old white guy's an Israelite? What are you talking about, bro? What is this?
Over Jordan tennis shoes. It's all in America. And you're going to ask yourself, is America Egypt? Because...
Is America Egypt? By the way, the answer is no. Egypt is in North Africa. Egypt is in North Africa. It's a different country on a different continent. America's not Egypt. America wasn't really around as a distinct national entity when the scripture was written. So no, not Egypt. But Hebrew Israelites tell us it is the new Egypt because Deuteronomy 28 says you're going to go into slavery in Egypt again. So voila, America becomes Egypt. And that's why the beginning of my video where we lampoon Hebrew Israelite doctrine called Party in the UPK says, is this Egypt or Babylon? And the guys were like trying to figure it out. That's why we did that in that video. Somebody needs to watch that.
Why is all this stuff happening in America? So-called, all this stuff happening in America, the coronavirus. You gotta ask yourself,
Yo, this is the same thing Hebrew Israelites have been saying. Have you guys seen the videos out there? How many Hebrew Israelites have said, if you notice the coronavirus is especially infecting. Now, this is more in the beginning. This is more towards the beginning of when this all happened. It's especially affecting, if you notice, Europe and white people in America. That's what they were saying in the beginning. Dante, 400 years fortune, and Teo even tried to imply that it was actually a fulfillment of the 400-year prophecy, part of the judgment coming upon America. Nate, and I'm proud to be an Egyptian, or at least I know I'm free. And Nate, silly dude. Lee Greenwood.
is God, he has the coronavirus, and the coronavirus is like, it's killing people because people are wicked. It's the same thing with Egypt. People are wicked. People were wicked in Egypt.
He's saying it's like round 2 of the plagues for having Hebrew slaves. You guys understand what he's saying? This is standard Hebrew Israelite rhetoric.
And they got killed over that. And people need to stop saying, people need to stop and ask themselves, is this really the coronavirus, or is this the spirit of death? People are so controlled by it.
Let's time out Judah the Lion. When people leave and they have to make these like final farewell speeches, they just need to be timed out. We gotta, let's make sure we let some of the Hebrews like speak though. You know what I'm saying? I do want to keep some of their comments, but keep on. Here we go.
The news media is so controlled by lying to you all the time. It's crazy. And you get the media, the coronavirus. It's not the spirit of it. It's not a virus. It's the spirit of death, because people are wicked. People wanna be gay. People wanna do their own thing. Well, God is gonna keep sending the spirit of death. He's gonna.
Zechariah Yehuda Israel. By the way, your name is inconsistent. If you're gonna have Judah spelled that way, why don't you also have Yisrael? Why just Judah? It doesn't make sense. If you're gonna have Judah, you should also have Yisrael. But okay, Zechariah, Judah, Israel. How about the hundreds that have died by the hands of Christianity and Catholicism? What's the difference between them? First of all, Christianity is an ideology or philosophy. You can't die at the hands of it. You can die at the hand of a person. But notice again the whataboutism. Zechariah can't condemn Jaden, but he can try to change the topic. Congratulations, you've taken page 2 out of the Hebrew Israelite playbook.
On everybody that's doing wickedness. People are so controlled by the spirit of fear, and the spirit of people let the government, let these people put fear in you. It's crazy, because you shouldn't be let a news person put fear in you. Like, it's crazy.
Thank you for that deep word. Megan R., listen, this is probably the second time I've seen you do this. When you mention someone, you specifically say, this black guy or whatever. Just say this guy. Why are you doing that? My mods may not agree with me, but mods, could you please still help me out here? We're going to time her out. Megan, you don't need to necessarily call out, oh, this black guy there. You know, we're watching this together. We understand it's the Hebrew Israelism of the identity. This guy could be Hispanic, Native American, or even one of the confusion of faces guys. Now, if you don't know what I'm saying, stick around this channel. You'll be able to hear more about that. But let's not do that here. That's not what's happening here. We are attacking the ideology, not the way any given person looks. So I really want to try to train the folks who watch this to try to be discerning and circumspect with their words by God's grace. Now, it's clear the man's a Hebrew Israelite. You guys see that? All right, switching over. Now, again, I am not going to play the actual videos of him beating up folks, okay? But it's obvious. Now, I went through his channel. I went through his videos. I saw everything else there. And, you know, I saw what Jaden's got going on. He was infected with Hebrew Israelism. And again, here's the deal. Here's the deal. Hebrew Israelism's ideology has a lot of extremist factions and militant elements to it. And it produces, again and again, bad fruit. Jacob just can't do it. You just can't do it. You can't condemn him. Has anyone seen in here one Hebrew Israelite condemn any three of these actions we've talked about tonight? Has anyone noticed that? Literally, no Hebrew Israelite has condemned any of these killings. None of them. None of them. And we have another ex-Hebrew Israelite in the chat. Jonathan Sokol, my man, was with GOCC for a hot minute. Once y'all pull out the but why don't you talk about XYZ line? We know you got nothing else. Why don't y'all show up for the streams about other topics? I wonder why, such as Islam. Shout out to Faithful God in the house. Definitely subscribe to his channel. He's asking good questions, you know. Okay, so I've played it. It'd be very fascinating to see the Hebrew Israelite response. I don't think it's going to be good. They do need to see this. So here's what I'm asking my audience to do. Audience, are you listening up? Hey, listen up. Let me get your attention. Listen up. Listen up. Listen up. Audience, I need you to take some of the sections from the show tonight. Take 59-second clips max, okay? Especially towards the latter half in regards to Jaden, the 20-year-old man who beat the 75-year-old man and the older woman. Take those and put them on social media. Don't say stuff that could be interpreted any kind of way. Be careful with what you say. But say the man embracing Hebrew Israelism or the Hebrew Israelite ideology. We're not even going to call him a black Hebrew Israelite, but the ideology, right? This is clear. However you want to put it, but just try to be careful with it. Right? Or you could say, you know, was this man a black Hebrew Israelite? Look at it. And then talk about what we talked about. And here's why I'm asking you guys to do that if you can. You put it on Facebook. You put it on Instagram. You put it on YouTube. You put it on Snapchat and TikTok, right? Because I want the Hebrew Israelites to respond to this. I want to see them condemn what this man did. I want to hear what they're going to say. We need to put the pressure on to get people to come out and condemn this and realize there's some problems in the ideology. That's what we need to see. GMS Vegas, sit down. I condemn all of them. We suffer for the Lord's sake and not for evil, doing or murder. We're to be wise as serpents and harmless as doves. Okay. Now, if you're going to say that, you're saying evil doing. So let me ask you something, GMS Vegas, sit down. Is it evil doing at all times forever for a Hebrew Israelite man to beat a non-Israelite? We're going to come back to you. Because guess what? Here Dawada is. David, son of Israel, in Lashawan Kodash, a clear one Wester. He says, you, the devil the Bible speaks of, death to you and all your evil followers. Notice, again, doesn't condemn the acts and in fact wishes death on me and everyone else, clearly proving what we're saying. It's like the old bit about the Muslim who says, I'll kill you if you say Islam is violent. Here, Dawadaban Yasharallah, David, son of Israel, which is the delusional name if I ever heard one, says, you're the devil's ways, death to you and all your evil followers. So here he comes in here. Zechariah, Judah, Israel. Nobody can do it. So I don't need to tell you that I disagree with him. That's not really condemnation. You should already know. No, I shouldn't. Listen to what Dawada just said. By the simple standard for humanity's sake. What standard for humanity's sake? What are you talking? What is that? I thought we were about the law of God here. Oh, thank you very much for being honest. Now look, whoever GMS Vegas sit downs is, I have a certain level of respect for you. And I'm saying that for real. This is not a joke or a bit or something like that. Because first of all, you didn't have to answer right. It's a live chat. But you answered honestly and you were just simple. So I appreciate that. We should appreciate Hebrew Israelites like that. I really wish you would talk to me sometime because I feel like somebody who's honest and to the point like you can be helpful. Remember I said, is it wrong? Is it wrong to, will it be wrong for an Israelite man to beat a non-Israelite man? And he says, in the kingdom, no. Now, the point is, he said those were evil acts earlier. Did you guys catch that? GMS Vegas sit down said they were wrong acts, but notice how he can't keep that standard consistent. Let me explain what I mean by here. I'm going back to his earlier comment. He said, we suffer for the Lord's sake and not for evil doing or murder. Now, by the way, your last sentence there is a little bit funny because I know you meant to say harmless as doves, but you put harmless ass doves. That's a little funny. That's, just a moment of levity between us. That's kind of funny. I'm not making fun of you. This is funny, right? We all do typos. Harmless ass doves. Look at them harmless ass doves over there, man, chilling on the corner. Man, there's some harmless ass doves. I'm sorry. Okay, But in all seriousness, going back to what he's saying here, look at this. He's saying not for evil doing. Now, wait a minute. We just talked about David Anderson. We just talked about Jaden and Austin Smith. Now, let's just focus on Jaden for a minute because he didn't murder anybody. He beat somebody. You're saying we shouldn't suffer for evil, but yet you're saying it's not evil doing in the kingdom. Help me understand that. No, I know. I saw it. I saw your response. You did respond to me. You said you condemn all three actions. But then you also said in the kingdom, no. Meaning it's okay in the kingdom to do this. Now, I'm trying to understand how that works together. Zechariah says, I condemn all their actions, and many people who believe in the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob stand beside me as I speak. I will be the voice for them. Okay, tell me more about it, Zechariah. Do you believe in the future that you will have non-Israelite slaves? You may not. Some Hebrew Israelites don't, but try to be honest. Just be honest if you could. Do you believe you'll be able to have... The reason why is because we need to talk about the way you think you can treat your slaves in the future. Because what I have done with this is I have seen Hebrew Israelites say that they will be able to beat their slaves. They will not have to treat them in accordance with the Old Testament laws about if you beat your slave and knock out his tooth, you got to let him go, because I've heard them say that's only for Israelites. So for non-Israelites, and so it's Moabites, Ammonites, Elamites, everybody else, right? Ishmaelites, with those folks, you can treat them any kind of way. In fact, they'll use the word harsh or rigorous. Now look at this. This is very fascinating as well. GMS Vegas Sit Down says what Austin Smith did was evil doing. Now, the reason he's saying that is because Austin Smith murdered his two daughters, and that had nothing to do with it, because I've already heard this. So notice he can condemn Austin Smith blatantly. But what about David Anderson being evil doing objectively? And what about what Jaden did being objectively evil? That means it's permanently evil for all times. Not, oh, in the kingdom it's cool, where the rules all of a sudden change on morality. On Austin Smith, he's saying that because he knows that one will hold. Because Austin murdered an innocent camp member plus his two daughters. And the wife... the reason why he could maybe be condemning the wife is because you didn't have a trial with witnesses to where you'd be able to kill her. So I see what you're doing there, where you're only mentioning Austin Smith in that way, as far as being evil permanently, not just outside of the kingdom. Do you guys see this? We got to be able to see through this rhetoric and doublespeak and call these guys out, because the ideology is bad. It has militant elements. It has extremist elements. This is real stuff that affects real people. All right? See that? Hey, faithful to God, there's a comment on the screen I need you to read. Now look, okay, see, GMS Vegas is down. My point about evil doing was about Austin Smith. You guys understand that? It ain't for you. Clearly a Hebrew Israelite. Strong Tower was in here earlier. Vocab alone is a joke. Wait, on Bresto, the Bible ain't for blacks and Hispanics? Who are you? Are you another Anglo-Israelite? I'm going to put you on timeout, and I want to hear more. You need to explain yourself. We're getting all the wild folks coming out at the end here. What in the world? Is this like a rabid Anglo-Israelite? Oh my goodness. Okay, I see your message. I won't name your name, but everyone see that message, and we will try to pray for that person. Someone is asking for prayer in the live chat there. Yes, Jesse Walsh, that's a fascinating thing to see. Because Hebrew Israelites believe in reincarnation, they believe that Austin Smith, despite what he did, will still get to enjoy. He'll still get to enjoy the benefits of the kingdom. Austin Smith will one day have slaves of other nations. That's what the Hebrew Israelites believe. And they believe the same thing about David Anderson and the same thing about Jaden. Everyone here. Not Francine Graham because she's a female. But everybody else, they will believe that. All right. Whew. This is a heavy, heavy topic. Shout out to my man Vecco. Hey! Shout out to Basic. Shout out to Latasha. Shout out to Built for Speed. Faithful to God in the house. And also, shout out to Dinu and anyone else I forgot. You know what? Soko with the beats. Let's drop some Soko beats here and end the show with some nice Soko beats because the man be bringing the dope beats. He's got some dope beats. So let's bring those out. Okay, y'all ready? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's do it. Yeah. Let's do it. Yeah. Ooh, the beat is like vibing. Let me turn it down. I'm live again on a live chat plus a live stream. Here I come again, lockdown, quarantine, gotta keep it clean, washing machine. Ayo, we don't really get into the obscene scene like the Hebrew Israelites. Nah, I mean, here I come again like a preteen. I'm immature, sometimes a blur. Here I go again, raise your hand like you sure got to cancel, gotta cut it out. Go ahead, most deaf, no doubt. Party people in the back, go ahead. Shout, yeah, work it out like a Jane Fonda workout video. Check out back in the day, Minio. Unashamed, y'all know the name. Vocab alone, not method, man. But yeah, check it, I got the method. Here we come again, record since an adolescent. Alright, mic check, 1, 2. Here we come, coming through. Shout out to the SA crew. Rocks B plus U2 D-New. Nate 2D2 plus calm. Grab the mic, don't harm anybody. Nah, I gotta keep it peaceful. Fly over soar like an eagle. Gotta keep it equal. We don't want no evil. Rolling down the street like I had a ego. Legal, desert eagle. What is vocab belong for? The party people. When the steeple, through the peephole. You know I see you, sweet like equal. Sweetener, got the beat stir. Here we go. Yes indeed, well it's time to flow. Strong tower, don't like it. Sorry, bro. Rock the mic and I keep it low like wheels on a 6-4. Here we come again, bada bo. 30 seconds left. Yes indeed, hot to death. You just can't rest. The beat is fresh. Oh yes, ha ha. The beat's so nice. Like some beans and rice, you gotta eat it up, keep it up, drink it up. Woo! Let's try another one, y'all. Oop, that's the same one, my bad. Hold up, here's the last beat. Here we go, y'all. Y'all ready for the last beat? And it goes, and it goes, and it goes where the beat go. 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 Found it? Is this it? Is this it? Is this the beat I want to end on? Can't remember. Let's try it out real quick. This is the last one of the show, y'all. Is this it? Coming back again. Yeah. What's happening? Ah, yeah. Now we rapping, man. Oh no. Stay away from sin. Not Mexican, but I live right next to them. Back in the day was a hooligan, but Jesus the Christ, he schooled me again. Yes, indeed, you know I'm Syrian. Some like to say Italian. Most of all, not American. My primary is Christian. Listen, this is not a written. Well, I'm Vocab alone and not spitting. Back in the day, they call me kitten, cause I was a cool cat with the mitten. Cause it was hot out the stove. Oh, not a beat unload. Well, it's so cold, we gotta unload. Eat it up like it was some a la mode. With the apple pie, 1 to the 2, 3, 4, 4, 5. That's no lie. Why ask why? Got a bud but don't need bud dry. Plus don't need no bud, no lie. That's no lie. Now we stay fly like the wings with the cure. That's what's up. Do you get it? Or should I explain it? Let me maintain it. Vocab alone, the beat I drain it. Kitten means cat, like a cool cat. Got a black hat, check it out now. Black cat is bad luck. Nah, Calvinist, no such thing. Here I come like wrestling. You know the beat slams as I rap, not sing. Shout out to Paul P. You bring the ching, ching, ching-a-ling, ding-a-ling. Oh, ding-a-ling, like the chang. It's on a string, hits on a string. On a rope. Shout out to Soko, cause the beat is dope. Clean like soap. And that's no note. So what's the note? That's the quote. Come back again, where we make apologetics fun again. Going live on Friday as well. Peace out, y'all.